In search of the raw truth on how the immobile oyster gets to our plates, we head to Empire and Delta Marina, a perfect launching point for fishing and for grabbing oysters at their freshest. Today, the restaurant is winging it with buffalo oysters, but lunch will have to wait. I'm going oyster fishing with Ray Vath and his son, Brian Winkler, 5th and 6th generation oystermen.
It's a way of life. It's not a business. This is not something we do 8 to 5. You know, it's more like 5 to 8. And it's just a lot of preparation, a lot of things we have to do to get those oysters to the table.
We head out aboard the Two Rays, a boat named for Ray and his father. Here they'll work unseen oyster beds along nondescript marshes.
I think y'all in for a treat. Y'all gonna find out what that's all.
In the mid-1800s, Croatian fishermen and their families moved to Louisiana and began creating a new way of life. They also built an industry that produces over 40% of all oysters consumed across the U.S. The dredge drops and the two men worked their family state-leased beds. Months before, they had harvested young oyster spats and moved them here, where Mother Nature does the rest.
This one's big enough to go in a basket. All these little ones are gonna go back in the water for later on.
Then you take like the little seedlings and plant them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Rotating crops and planting, this is not rod and reel fishing. It's more plow and rake.
They call it fishing, but it's more like farming with no control.
We all like farmers, you know, a lot to an extent, because we have to bring our oysters, little oysters, to certain areas and wait for them to grow, and all of that takes time.
For Ray, even with the disappearing coast, Louisiana is the only place to farm.
I mean, you could go plant a garden in the desert, but odds are it's not going to grow. So I mean, yeah, this, and again, Mother Nature, this changes all the time. Again, this is why we spread out. We have leases here in Jefferson Parish, you know, St. Bernard Parish, because you never know when one area is going to be good or bad. So we gotta try.
One thing I had to try was an oyster straight from the Gulf.
Look at the size of this thing. This is a bayou oyster.
You don't get any fresher than that.
Oh my God. What do you taste when you have a Louisiana oyster?
I got probably a different perspective, because I chew an oyster. A lot of people don't chew an oyster, so you don't, in my opinion, you don't know what an oyster tastes like, because all you're tasting is the water. Do you chew them or do you swallow?
I think I swallow.
You know, have you ever chewed one?
I think I'm gonna have to chew one.
You know, my thinking, do you swallow steak? If you swallow it, you won't taste that difference, because all you tasted was that water. If you chew it, you're gonna taste a major difference. You don't know what oyster tastes like until you eat one, like right there out of that shell. Then you can know what it tastes like.
You get that, just that little drip of deliciousness coming down my tooth. Oh yeah, that's good.
I'd like to tell you that by chewing that oyster, I could taste the bayou, that I could taste generations of hard work. But what I tasted was pure, salty Louisiana goodness. I can say I'd never tasted an oyster until then. And until today, I had no idea about the families that struggled to bring them to my plate.
A lot of guys have gone to crabbing and trawling because it's just,
Yeah.
it's hard to make a living. It really is. But you got it. Again, I got nowhere to go. So I'll be here till the end. One way or another. I'm gonna fight them till they tell me you can't fish another oyster.
As the Two Rays brought us back, the 5th generation oystermen had a simple request.
Just to keep on eating oysters so we can keep this generations going. This is a heritage. It's not a job. It's a way of life.
My friend, that's the least I can do.
This is good. I'm gonna get that buffalo sauce off your face.
Thank you.